Quite honestly, our day begins probably from about 7:30 in the morning, when we, in earnest, start to communicate individually about what's happening, what may have happened overnight. The first big event of the day for us is at 9 o'clock. It's the editorial call. That's when all the reporters and the editorial team come together to talk about the day. The assignments, the angles, how we're going to look at stories, what other stories may be developing, what follow-ups are needed.
So the editorial team is made up of all the leaders on what we would call on the news side, headed by Jerome Sawyer, myself, Jasmine Brown, Ricky Barry, Megan Shepard, as well as Candino Knowles as the senior producer. And I guess we are the gatekeepers, essentially, for the news, which you see that comes on every day at 7 o'clock, 7:30, as well as on the weekends. Everything begins with us. Sometimes it begins directly with Jerome, whether it's him giving us ideas, myself and Jasmine, we make sure that the assignments that are coming in are in the calendar and who would be best to do which assignment.
Once that process is done, the real meat and potatoes begins with the assignments themselves.
Well, I am the assignment editor, and that means that I liaise or talk to all the reporters, not just for the morning, but from the night before, maybe days before, just planning on how we will cover stories, what we will cover, so ultimately what will go in the newscast at the end of the day.
The reporters team up with the cameraman, and they go out and they capture whatever stories are happening.
We are at Bon Vivants. Bon Vivants. I want to make sure I say that right. And today's assignment is basically we're highlighting Bon Vivants because they were recognized by the Caribbean Journal as one of the top bars in the Caribbean. I hope I said that correctly. So we're here. We're going to do a drink demonstration and also highlight this place that has become a staple basically in the Bahamian, let me say Nasuvian community. Let me say that. Y'all should name this to Danielle after this.
Whoa!
Yeah.
This is Bright Side, the nickname to Danielle.
Nickname to Danielle because I'm the bright side of life.
See, that's it. Hey, she's sticking. That one she got bars.
Bars. Just don't put me in no rap battles.
Wow. There's also the breaking news that may come and turn the entire day upside down.
Our news is live here in the Palmdale Shopping Center. This is where the Lowe's Pharmacy and RBC Royal Bank is located. Just a few minutes ago, we would have received information that a double shooting would have occurred here at the plaza.
So by mid-afternoon, most of the morning assignments are done and everybody's in, and that's when we start to assemble the stories. The reporters hand off their stories to the script editors, who then review, make any changes, and then the process goes on to our VTR editors or our cameramen, who are also editing stories.
My name is Teron Knowles, news production supervisor here at RTV. Well, what do I do is what I don't do. But on the regular day-to-day, I pretty much go out and assist with shooting assignments and editing them. But overall, I'm responsible for all the cameramen. So everyone knows news is a very fluid and chaotic environment sometimes, well, most of the time. So my task is to assist the editorial team in managing all that chaos and making sure all the assignments are covered in an efficient and effective manner.
By late afternoon, we have a general sense of everything that's in the newscast. It's all being put into Rundown Creator, and the afternoon team, mainly your producers, your anchors, some of your editors, begin to assemble that cast. Assembling a newscast is a very labor-intensive, interesting process that comes from years of experience.
Who disrupts the Rundown meeting the most?
Jerome.
It's Jerome.
Jerome.
So you admit it's you?
It is. It is. Honestly, because I like to challenge. So a lot of times I'm challenging the story, I'm challenging the slug, I'm challenging the placement, I'm challenging where we're gonna float or where we're gonna keep, because I think it's a learning opportunity. And I always want them to feel as if there's somebody else overlooking it who is going to challenge it. So make sure it comes as close to perfection as possible. Many times I don't say anything, but a lot of times I will interrupt and challenge.
All right, so we'll start with the 7 o'clock show. And just off the top, we are 30 minutes and 11 seconds at the current time. So we got about 2 minutes to shave off.
Curious, what do we have commercials on?
And so far, what's been put in, we got 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes. So it's about 8 minutes of commercial. In fact, this one at the bottom needs to adjust. So we're at 30 minutes and 41 seconds for total runtime. 2 minutes and 41 seconds over. So we got about 3 minutes to float. And so at the top of the show, we've got a package on the fatal shooting from Delvado. This is the gang leader who was gunned down during...
Top of the news is where you put your hard stories, your interesting stories, the things that people want to know about. I call it news of the day.
Potential follow-up for this tomorrow. Are they looking for reprisals? Anything? Is there any potential for this tomorrow? Any follow-up potential for this tomorrow?
We could make it. I was a bit skeptical because I'm usually supposed to be gang leaders. I don't know the temperament of the family, how much we could probably go back.
My concern, or a story like this, if you're talking about someone who's said to be a gang leader, normally when something like this happens, you look for reprisals. You look for, there could be some fallout. So maybe we go back to police, or maybe we go back to somebody and say, hey, have you all beefed up patrols? Are you concerned that there may be some fallout?
So I will say on that, at the end of the story, the SOT with Kristen Skippings does address the fact that a question about whether this was connected to some homicides in January, right?
I changed that. Delvardo said it wasn't. So I just took that sentence out.
Oh, so that's out.
But
Okay.
Fred Mitchell did send out something, said he's met somebody put in the group.
For Fred,
Yeah, he met with the commissioner, and he said they're going to beef up patrols, and that telling his constituents to just be careful as they move around. So maybe even go back to Fox Hill and see how people feel, because he's saying that they're warning that there's going to be retaliation.
Doing news is like an inverted pyramid sometimes. You've got the hard stories, the tragedies, the big stories of the day at the top. And then as you get into the news, it gets lighter and softer and easier. And so by the time you get to the end, you want to leave people feeling good, inspired. So all that hard news that they heard, all that bad news that they heard at the top, we try and leave them with something soft, something that gets them to smile. In some scenarios, we may have a busy news day and we have a busy production day. In the middle of our work week, we have On the Record. So that is our premier current affairs show, hosted by myself with a great dynamic team. We've got to get in studio. I've got to come ready with the support of the team. We got to wrestle in there with our guests, have a good show, and then it has to be ready to go 8 o'clock that night. So on a Thursday, even though news is going on, you've got On the Record at the same time that has to get to air.
All right, my name is Nate. I'm the production supervisor. On my team, we have Joey Butler. He's the audio technician. He's the Wi-Fi man. He get the networking and everything together. When we have it together ourselves, the Cat 6 man, you know all about the connections and all that. We got Terrence, we call him TC. He's a switcher, and he works pretty well on adapting to the environment as well. And we have a new recruit, Richard Ferguson. He kind of has an all-around feel to him, but it's more so in a creative space when it comes to producing content visually. And so we're working with him to get him into working with certain situations and hands that he is dealt, and learning how to adapt to certain environments. In this space, production starts out from, we look at it from the ground up. When it's making sure you have the correct equipment, making sure that all your equipment is functional, and to the top we have it where everything that we put together, or everything that the team has put together, we actually send it out on air.
In the middle of our day, we also have to consider what's happening with sales. So sales really drives our revenue.
We don't only sell ads in the media department, we sell solutions.
We find solutions for our clients by sitting down with them and figuring out what their needs are. Once we establish that, we take it to the next level if it needs production help, if they are looking to do social media, if they're looking to air their commercial on the news or the cross channels, whatever it is, we can do it.
We consult with a number of the top businesses throughout the country, and it's our job to get them to understand how to increase their reach and their marketing within the local market. We are much more than a station. We're a platform. We're 212 at 7:30, we're 212 at 7 p.m., we're 205 with Go 242 celebrations, we're cross-channel, we're YouTube, we're TikTok, we're everywhere. The traffic team is, I'm going to say, the back house of the business. This is someone or a team of ladies that you don't get to see on a day-to-day basis. They're involved with making sure that the company's revenue is recorded and those things that we promise contractually run. In short, they're the engine, because at the end of the day, if we don't collect the revenue, then we have a challenge, and they make sure that we not only collect the revenue, but we're transparent as to what happens with that revenue on a day-to-day basis.
My name is Vanette Gator. I'm the Media Operations Manager in Rev Media. So a typical day in media operations and programming begins with, of course, programming. So one of our core responsibilities is to make sure that we have engaging, entertaining, educational and informative content on the channel. The exciting thing about our TV, or channel 212, is the fact that we have 24-hour programming. That's huge. And we have content that keeps people very much engaged for that entire period.
I watch movies all day. Viewing for content.
Right. Sorry, I'm not doing my job. Sorry, this was Steve. I just want.
Let him. We done. Come. He done break the scene now. Let him through. Let him through. Like, dude. We're working here. We working here. Like, could you help out, please? Thanks.
I got you. No one else is coming home because it's Franklin or.
Yes. Tell him this is a closed set. Closed set. I create scheduling for our TV channel. That process of reviewing content that comes in, that's whether from local content, from local producers, or from foreign vendors like Sony, Hallmark, Curiosity Stream. And I also provide assistance to traffic and billing whenever necessary.
Patrick Major, Supervisor of Master Control. Master Control is the heartbeat of our TV. Many persons never heard of it, don't know, but they do know that they see what they see on TV. And this is what Master Control does. For the most part, Master Control is a no excuse department. There's a no break and you have to get it right. And so it takes a lot of time to do that. So the Master Control technician, myself and Harold, we have I would not say a thankless job, because it's always thankful that the viewers see what they see. So we take our resolve in knowing that it's a job well done at the end of the day.
Every day for us, we start with a blank canvas. Every day we have to start over. No 2 days are ever alike. So we have to come in every day and start over to create that newscast.
We go in 5, 4, we go in 3, 2.
Welcome to our news. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Atalia Hall.